Hello? Oh, hi, darling.
Half a world away, another day. So let's go play on the moon. It's a starry place. We embrace the space while we're miles away on the moon.
Perfect timing. Perfect. Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of On the Other Line. I am your host, Kelly Keegs. Today we're talking about cities, and I'm excited. I'm excited because I tweeted out a couple of my favorite cities, a couple of places I like and I don't like, and people on Twitter are pissed off. So that's what we like to see. We like to see people chatting, people arguing, people yelling. So I hope that people call in right now. We are recording this ahead of time. You will be seeing this live at 7 p.m. Hopefully at 7 p.m. right now where you are on SLING. But we are also, I believe, live right now at 3 o'clock. So this is fabulous. We will be accepting calls. The number is 888-786-6522. If anybody is already calling in a little bit. I think we should just get right into it. There are a lot of things I want to talk about when it comes to cities. There are a lot of places that I've been. There are a lot of places that I haven't been. But there's certainly not a place that I have been where I didn't find myself having a strong opinion on it afterwards. So that is why I decided to make this topic how it is. But let's do a shout out to everybody in the booth right now. What's going on, you guys? How are you doing in there? I feel like I rearranged everybody's schedules for this, and I feel really bad about it. Is everybody okay in there? I don't have to talk to you right now if you guys are doing shit. Hey guys, what's going on? Yes, we were supposed to obviously be live on Wednesdays as usual at 7 p.m. I was sick yesterday, extremely sick, very, very violently ill, so I could not come. Thankfully, everybody was really nice about it and let me just do this now. I'm super appreciative of it, so thanks to them. And thanks to you guys for being patient and waiting for the show today. So, all right. I feel like there are a lot of strong opinions when it comes to cities, and it always depends on like if you've lived there, if you visited there, if you vacationed there. There's always these different vibes that you're wanting to have. And when making my little list here, I took all of those things into consideration. Some of these things on my list aren't a traditional city. Some of them, like I'll give one away, Cape Cod I have on my list. Yeah, I know that Cape Cod isn't an actual city, but if Cape Cod is a mailing address, then it's a city in my opinion. Like you can visit that. You can visit there. People live there. It's a city to me. So I don't care if there aren't any high rises. I don't care, whatever. It's a place to go that I liked visiting, and that's how it is. So let us just get into my best cities list, starting from the bottom, as always, with number 5, Washington, D.C. I loved Washington, D.C. I've been there a couple of times now. The first time I ever went, I was in 8th grade. As most kids in the Northeast, I believe, that are close enough to D.C., take a trip to DC to see all the like war memorials, to see the Holocaust Museum, to see like all this other shit. Check out the White House from 1,000 billion miles away. You can't even see the White House when you go visit it, so I don't even know why people bother doing that. But I had the time of my life. It was spring. The cherry blossoms were in bloom. We all know how much I love the blossoms. And it was maybe one of the first places I had been that had like a full, like a promenade of cherry blossoms. Like it just was so fucking beautiful. And there's specifically this like, it's in front of the Lincoln Memorial. I guess it's the reflecting pool, is what people call it. But I feel like there's 3 memorials in a row leading up to the Lincoln Memorial. One of them is that big ass pool. And then there's also this like columns thing. I have no idea what it is. So people from DC will be pissed about this, but there are these like huge columns that are like stacked around, and they all have different, I guess, cities, states. I'm not even sure what they are, but there's this like big center area. I have no idea what it is. Do any of you guys in the booth like know what I'm talking about, or like even have the slight idea of what I'm talking about right now? I can't hear you, Aria. Shit. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
It's okay.
I grew up there, and I can't even.
It's like okay, so it's like a big circle.
I know exactly what you're describing.
Right, but what the fuck is that? Like I have no idea. I've never known. And it's just like one of those things that we went there for this trip or whatever, and I just had an amazing time. Like we went there and it was beautiful, and we saw it at like the setting sun. We saw something like a memorial. Like basically I just loved being around all the memorial shit. And I guess people on Twitter are pissed about it, being like, if you live there, you would not say it was like a good place. And I was like, okay, well, I don't live there, but it seems really nice. I don't know. And it seems like the bars are cool and the restaurants are cool. And I don't know, a lot of young people there, a lot of like nose to the grindstone when it comes to politics. I feel like there's a lot of people who are just trying to like inform themselves. I feel like the vibes are pretty good there. And so that experience with those big tall column things, the pool, there was like, it was dark out and we were seeing like the Vietnam War Memorial, like something about like the black stones were so cool. And obviously the Holocaust Museum. I am one of those people that is very interested in all of the like Holocaust history. Like I feel like I used to be like weird about saying that, but there are a lot of people who are extremely interested in the Holocaust because it's like, how the fuck did this happen? How, it's just crazy. And so the Holocaust Museum was nuts. It was moving. I was crying in the 8th grade, all kinds of shit, nuts. And so it's just stuck with me ever since. And like I said, they have great blossoms. So shouts to Washington, D.C. You've made my list. Next on my list is Raleigh, North Carolina. I love Raleigh, North Carolina. I think it's a lovely place to live, to grow up, to raise a family. One of my besties just moved there. One of my old besties used to live there. I spent a lot of time there being at school in North Carolina. We went to Raleigh and Charlotte all the time. Charlotte, though, is the fucking worst. I didn't put that on my list, but I think Charlotte is boring as fuck. Oh my God, you guys, breaking news. It's not actually breaking news, but it's time to be real, which I think this is the stupid fucking app, right? It's called Be Real. You take one photo. You have 2 minutes to do it. I have a countdown clock happening right now. 2 minutes to do it. You post a photo. It takes a picture of your front camera and your back camera at the same time. And so this is a good one for today. So I'm doing this. Yeah, you all had to wait. You had to wait for my Be Real because this is me being as real as possible. And I think that that was silly. So anyway, whatever. Back to Raleigh. Raleigh has a shockingly large amount of great restaurants. Like that's why Raleigh has made it onto my list. I went to this place, I think it was called Cowfish, and it was so fucking good. Like I don't know if I was just, if that day it was just hitting right or something, whatever, but it was so fantastic. The bars are really good. It's not like Charlotte is. I feel like everybody and their fucking mother has moved to Charlotte and it's just like boring or whatever, but Raleigh I feel like is kind of the unsung better city in the triad, and it deserves more hype. It's kind of, I wouldn't say it's close to the beach, but it's central enough of an area in North Carolina where you can like kind of get around. Like you can get to, you know, you can get to Wilmington, you can get to the Outer Banks however like you want. Like I feel like it's a pretty good spot to be in. And you can also get to the mountains. Like it's really not bad. Love it. Great food, good vibes. Another city with like young people, and it's just like a good atmosphere, I think. The next on my list, number 3, is Cape Cod. And I, again, put Cape Cod as a whole because I like it. I don't know many of the towns that are like on Cape Cod. I know Sandwich, Massachusetts, just because I have a couple friends that are from there. I know, I'm trying to think where else Cape Cod. I know is like Portsmouth. No, I don't know. I'm not even gonna try to list places on Cape Cod because I don't know them. But I do know is that I've been there several times and I've had an amazing time every single time. My only complaint about Cape Cod is that the beaches are a little funny. They have like really high up like cliffs that go to the beach. That makes me a little bit nervous because like you have to climb a fucking cliff to like get off the beach. That was kind of crazy, but the sand is good. The food is obviously amazing. It's very much like a I'm at the beach, I'm at the shore vibe, which I always love. And so it makes the fucking list, okay? I don't care if it's not really technically a city. It makes my list because it's a lovely place to be. We have somebody chit-chatting about, hold on, we have a call coming in, but we'll wait a second on that. Next on my list, number 2 comes in Napa/Sonoma. Both cities, in my opinion. Wine country, yes. You guys all know that I love wine country. I'm always talking about it. I'm obsessed with it. I need everything about it. It's one of my favorite places to be on earth, and so it obviously makes this fucking list. I don't even need to talk at length about it because it says everything. It's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been, one of the most exciting places, the best food, the best wine, like just an incredible, incredible place to go for like a chill weekend, and I'm obsessed with it. So let's take this call first. Let's see, why DC stinks. Oh, here we go. Let's see. What's going on? Hello, hello. Ruth? Is that your name?
Kelly.
Hey, girl.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you? Tell me why DC sucks, because people are really, really coming after me for saying DC is pretty good.
No, DC's the worst.
Oh my
That
God,
Metro
tell
is the
me.
worst. You have to wait like 30 minutes for a Metro train.
Oh,
It's
true.
The streets are disgusting. Now, granted, it's got nothing on New York. I know New York has like 5-foot-tall piles of trash.
True,
DC,
but that's
like,
part
the
of its
streets are
charm.
just gross. It's gross, and like I feel for those that are struggling with homelessness, but there are just camps everywhere.
Damn.
Just everywhere. And this girl was on Metro the other day, and she literally was like sexually harassed for like over half an hour, and nobody stood up for her. Like nobody's out here looking out for anybody else.
What the
And,
fuck?
Like I know, and like in New York, people are like, oh, it's so gritty and it's tough, but like, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. Like that doesn't exist here. Like it's
Damn.
not real. Like there's nothing pretty about it. So yeah, DC's the worst. Everyone just like wants to go back home to their home state, or they want to jump across the river to Virginia and live in their big, fancy house that they can finally afford.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a twist. So maybe, do you think that when I went in the 8th grade, my like jaded eyes, I didn't see all this bullshit? Because I had like such a lovely time, and I have been since then, but really only just like going out and stuff. Like I haven't like spent a good amount of time there, but I was shocked by how many people said it was trash. So maybe I have to take it off my list. Like maybe it's actually bad, like you're saying.
Listen, I went on the 8th grade trip too. I did the wreath on the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, like all of this
Yes, the
stuff
Tomb
that
of the
is
Unknown
just,
Soldier.
like,
It's lovely.
it's beautiful, it's stunning, it's moving. You're like, oh my gosh, America, fuck yeah. But then you move here because you're all built up on these like bright-eyed bushy tails, and then you're just destroyed. Like my theory about DC is that everyone here was type A, captain the cheer squad, captain the football team, captain the debate team, and then they're told they're special their whole life.
Oh.
And then we show up here and we're told you are nothing. You're trash. And it's the worst.
So I kind of love that part of it. Like I love that it's a little humbling, but damn, I really did not expect to be all that trash. And you know what though? It's something that you said, because I have some shit to talk later about Chicago, and one of my main points about it is that it's not a very accessible city. Like the transit's not great and whatever, but I never really thought about it in DC. And I now that you're saying it, people have said bad things about the Metro, and I feel like that can make or break a situation. Like New York, of course, New York is garbage. Like, I mean, it's my number one. It's literally number one on my list. I love it the most, but the subway is obviously trash. It's gross, whatever, but it's very accessible. Like it's so easy. You just deal with it, whatever. It's quick, it's fast. Nobody's worrying about it, but it makes a big difference.
And you have celebrities. You have Pizza Rat, right? Like you have
exactly.
celebrities, and you have
exactly.
You have a freaking Broadway show going on your subway. We have nothing. We just have people that are holding their little flask of God knows what liquor, screaming at you. Like it's not even endearing, right? Because I'm not going to get to see Pizza Rat. It's not even fun.
No, you could not be more correct. Like, yes, at least New York like provides you with a little bit of culture on the subway. It sounds like DC is just like literal trash people. Like there's trash people here, but at least they have a dream. You know what I mean? Sounds like DC is where you go to die. I don't know, man. I think I'm swayed. I think I'm crossing it off the list.
I'm telling you, man. And then, factor in House of Cards. You think that at any point in time someone's out to get you, going to push you in front of the train.
So true. It's
like you're
so
just
true.
like waiting for your like DC spy movie moment.
Wow.
And it's just the worst.
Wow. Well, Bruce, you've completely swayed me. DC is now off my list. I'm just going to have to pack up those memories from my 8th grade trip and realize that was not reality.
It's not real. It's not
real.
It was a fever dream.
Damn, it was a fever dream. God damn it. Well, thank you so much for calling, Ruth. I really appreciate it.
Y'all have a good one.
Thanks. You too. Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, see, this is what people have been saying. People have been so like pissed off on Twitter that I even mentioned DC. And I figured I would get some shit like that, but she's right. I didn't think about the transit, which is unfair because that's, like I said, something I'm going to talk major shit about for Chicago. But damn, I guess I got to take it off the list. I have a city that I can replace it with though. So let's hit a break real quick and then we'll come back. I'll reveal my #1 best city and the new replacement for Washington, D.C. And welcome back to On the Line. I am your host, Kelly Keegs. We're talking about cities. Breaking news, another breaking news. Something just happened. We just had a call from my girl Ruth, and she told me all the bad shit about Washington, D.C., so it is officially off my best list. I'm just going to have to accept the fact that my 8th grade trip was just that, an 8th grade trip. It didn't accurately represent the city as a whole. It did not, it shouldn't have been in my list, and it sounds like it's just a fucking garbage place to be. So it's no longer on the list. I'll hold those memories dear. I'm going to replace it with Charleston, South Carolina. It's coming into the 5th spot. I love Charleston. The only reason that Charleston didn't even make my original list is because the humidity is so unbearable that my hair is out of control. Already my hair, I had to curl my hair today because it was too humid today to keep it straight. That's the only reason why I had to do that. Nothing is worse than hot, sticky, humid hair, and that's all you're getting in Charleston, South Carolina. However, it's fucking beautiful down there. I went there once for a bachelorette party, and also my brother went to school there. So, we hold it dear in our hearts in the Keegan household. And my favorite part about being in Charleston, which I don't even know if this was in Charleston. Obviously, I like Rainbow Row. The houses are beautiful. The town is good. The food is okay. Blah blah blah. Whatever. But what was so great about Charleston is that a short drive away was the area where they filmed The Notebook. And of course we went there, and of course we took a boat ride through the lily pads and the place where all the ducks were and all that other bullshit, and I was in my element. I was outside of my mind. I fucking loved it. It was so amazing, so beautiful. But yeah, again, the heat really kills you there, so that's my only complaint with Charleston. Now, moving to number 1 best city in the world, New York. New York City. New York City is the number 1 best city in the world. I don't care what anybody says. I know that everybody always is like, oh, well, you live there, and people who love New York, that's all they ever say, but they don't mean it. What about the trash on the ground? What about the smell of hot urine? What about how you can't even get anywhere in the wintertime because the roads are full of ice and you fall and slip and crack your fucking neck open trying to get down the stairs in the subway in the wintertime? I don't care. I'll take all of it. New York is the greatest place to be, the greatest place to work, the greatest place to live, just to exist, greatest place to find friends, to meet new people, to run into interesting people. Again, with that girl who just called about DC, she was talking about how New York City subways are gross, confirmed, yes, but they, in DC, they don't even get entertainment. They don't get the fucking mariachi band that comes on there, which, arguably I hate. I hate when they do performances on the subway, but we still get performances on the subway. People that love it, love it. So whatever. But I think that the arguments that people have against New York City all the time, in my opinion, are just you're a pansy bitch, I guess. That just means that you're a little baby back bitch, and you can't handle a little hot garbage smell one or 2 days a week when it's garbage day. Can't handle that. You can't handle walking around the people that come up to you asking for money. Just get away from them. They're not gonna do anything to you unless it's past a certain time at night and they might fucking stab you. But I don't know. There's just all of that shit doesn't bother me at all. I was talking about this a little bit before. Ari and I were talking about this a little bit before earlier, that I weirdly feel very safe in New York. I know that that's probably the opposite way I should be thinking, but I feel very safe. I know that there's 1,000 police officers in every single corner. I know police or whatever, but there's always somebody around. If you're on the subway and you're getting harassed and all this shit is happening, sometimes people won't say shit. People do try to mind their business. They try not to get involved. But if there's some actual action happening on the subway, or you're being assaulted in the street, there will be somebody around that's hearing your cries for help. You're not just gonna be left out to fucking dry. There's too many people here to just ignore things that are happening if they're bad. And there are so many things that happen that are good, it completely outweighs the bad, in my opinion. I think that every single park in the city, in Manhattan specifically, is incredible. I think that they're always full of people, but it's just good vibes. They're all set up great. A lot of them have restaurants near it or in it or whatever. Central Park is one of my favorite places on earth. It's just a really lovely walk. I know it really well at this point because I've walked it so many times. It's just, I don't know. And maybe you do have to have that mindset of loving New York to really enjoy it here. But Also, part of the fun of loving New York and living in New York is talking shit about it when you want to. Because don't you talk shit about the people that you love sometimes? Yes, you do. And every once in a while, you want to talk shit and be like, I fucking hate it here. Why do I live in this shoebox for $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month? What am I doing with my life? Blah, blah, blah. I can't make it big. No big deal. That's part of it. That's part of the people that come here. You want to feel down and out because people like me, people that live here all the time, need a little kick in the ass sometimes. They need to feel like, wow, I can't afford dinner. Maybe I should bust my ass at work and get a raise and then I can afford dinner. Like shit like that. It's just like you need that drive. You need that like spark to keep you going. Otherwise, what do people do? Honestly, what do people do if they live in some podunk like bumfuck city? What do you do all the time? You come home and you just watch TV and you read and you go to sleep? I mean, that sounds lovely, maybe 1 or 2 days a week, but what about all the other days of the week where you can go try a new restaurant, you can go visit your friends, you can go take a walk, you can go look at the fucking sunset. Have you ever seen a sunset over New York City? It's the most beautiful shit I've ever seen. Unbelievable. Like, yes, a sunset over a beach is nice. You can have a beach fucking anywhere. A sunset in New York City, the way the sun hits the One World Trade, please, please. It's the best fucking place to be. I will not hear anything else. I won't hear another argument. It's amazing. It's fantastic. So that's that. I'll probably bring that up again because I just love New York so much and I hate when people talk shit about it. So I'll probably won't let that go for the rest of the show. But let us get into the worst cities. And this is where people wanted me to really explain myself. And I have no problem explaining myself. I have a very specific reason for each of these cities to be on my list as the worst. Starting out number 5, Chicago, Illinois. This is the one that people have a problem with the most, I think. Chicago is fine. Here, like in theory, okay, the reasons that people like Chicago make no sense to me. They don't appeal to me. People are like, oh, it's like, you know, sports place. Like, it's great with sports. I don't give a fuck about sports. Every single, sorry, Barstool Sports. I just don't give a fuck. And I certainly don't give I'm not moving to a city where it's sports heavy. Would that mean like it's busier and more obnoxious? Like, are you trying to surround yourself with 100% sports fans all day long? Like, just like cumming themselves over the Bears every day? Like, I can't with that. I can't. And so, I'm not into it. But the main problem I have with Chicago is how much everybody has to say that Chicago's the best city in the world. That's all anybody ever says. Chicago's the best city in the world. It's the most amazing place to be. Like, fuck New York, fuck Philly, fuck everywhere else. Chicago's the number one. We got the river in the middle. We sort of have beaches, but it's a lake. It's summertime chai. Have you ever even been? Like, shit like that. If your city's so good, you shouldn't have to talk about how good it is all the time. Like, nobody has to talk about how good New York City is. We just do it because we love it here. Everybody tries to shove Chicago down your fucking throat, and I'm here to tell you it's not that great. This is my main thing with Chicago. It's impossible to get around in Chicago. I have been there several times now, and you have to drive a million miles away everywhere. There's no parking anywhere, so that's already a problem, number one. Number two, the transit there is extremely dangerous at all hours of the day. I was just recently at a bachelorette a couple weekends ago. One of the girls is from Chicago, lives there full time, and she has been, I think she told me she was mugged like 3 or 4 times on whatever their metro situation is. I don't even know what it's called. That's fucking insane. Like, yes, there are people getting mugged and shit on the New York City subways, but if you're out in Chicago, my one friend and all of her friends multiple times have been mugged on the train where the trains are relatively crowded and nobody says shit. It's like, how do you let that happen? How do you even get on the train then? How do you even feel safe going anywhere? And obviously crime rates are out of control, like, so they are in New York as well, but like, I don't know, it just doesn't, it sounds so much worse all the time. And they don't have a real beach. It's just the lake. Whatever. I like a lake every once in a while. I like to go on a boat every once in a while. I like the beach. And but not being able to get around anywhere is really just the main concern for me. I think it's out of control. I think it's ridiculous. And I think that for everybody to be touting about how amazing of a place it is, you need to have more going for you than like, we got a crazy hot dog with the fucking pepper on it. Oh, holy shit. Chicago's amazing. It's not. It's just not. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of hearing about it. And I know the Chicago people are going to be pissed about that, but it's just not that great. I'm not impressed by the like picture of the sunset with the lake in the middle of Chicago. Like, yes, that picture like looks cool around St. Patrick's Day when they dye it green. Otherwise, who gives a fuck? We've got rivers too. Sure, they're full of dead bodies, but they're beautiful. They're beautiful. Whatever. Out on Chicago. I don't want to hear about it anymore. Next on my list, number 4, Boston. Ooh, poor Boston. I've tried to like Boston. I really have. The first time I went to Boston ever was for my friend's 21st birthday party. We went out. I had a rip-roaring time. That was maybe like a top 5 most drunk I've ever been in my life. Like, that's how much I remember it. We had an amazing time. I couldn't tell you a single place that we went to. I have no idea. Again, that's 10 years ago now. No fucking idea where we went. But we did have a really nice time. But again, my friend that I went to go visit was like from the Boston area. So she knew where to go, what to do. We had a party bus. It was manufactured fun. Couldn't have had a bad time. I went back there later for the Barstool vs. America thing this past season, and it was just a garbage place to be. It was freezing cold. All the food fucking sucked. I ordered sushi one night and it was just trash. Like, I've never had a worse meal in my life. It's terrible. Oh my God. Oh, we've got Mike here from San Diego defending Chicago. I gotta hear it. Let's see.
Kelly.
Mike, what's going on?
Kelly.
Try
Kelly,
to do
what are we
it.
doing here?
Try
What
to
are we doing
defend.
here?
Try to defend
Okay,
Chicago.
Chicago is everything
defend.
that
Wait,
New
wait.
York has.
Defend Chicago without
That's cheaper
mentioning.
and better.
Wait. Defend Chicago without mentioning the lake in the middle, the hot dogs,
I'm not going to.
and
No. Chicago
summertime.
has so much better food than just hot dogs. How many times have you been to Chicago?
I've been there 3 or 4 times.
Okay, but like, did you have a good time, or were you with people that didn't show you like the right place
No,
to go?
I had a decent time while I was there, but there was nothing special about the city, and there were things
Oh my
that like
gosh.
went badly that made me be like, this place kind of sucks. Like
Okay,
the
well,
traveling. I'll tell you
okay.
what, it's the traveling. The traveling around it really soured me on Chicago.
Wait, like in a car?
You have to take a car fucking everywhere. You got to go 20 minutes to go anywhere. It's like I might as well be
Oh,
out in the suburbs of
that's
New
so false.
Jersey.
That is so false.
That is not
But
false.
I
Everywhere I
will
went, it was
say-
20 minutes minimum.
Okay, well, you're probably going from like one edge of the city to the other. So it's the same thing with New York.
New York, I can get
Anyway.
on the subway. I go door to door, my apartment to this office in 5 minutes if the subways are timed up right.
Yeah, but you have to take the subway. Anyways,
Yeah.
you're also missing San Diego in the top 5.
True. People were coming after me for that as well. I like San Diego. San Diego to me is like a, I don't know. It's just it's very chill. I don't think I could live there or get anything done there at any point. I think I could only go on vacation there. Do you feel that way?
I moved here 6 months ago, and I moved here 6 months ago, and I feel so lazy all the time. Like I
Yeah.
don't get anything done at work.
Yeah.
But I'm having a great time, and I think it's actually better than Chicago. So I think you should.
Well,
put
then
it
there
in
you
top
go.
5.
Well, so that's obvious. Of course, San Diego is better than Chicago. It's like it's
No,
one of the
it's
most
closer
beautiful
than you think.
places. One of the most beautiful places. But I'm gonna actually ask you a question in return about the work thing. Like, do you feel like you can get work done and stuff when it's so sunny all the time? I feel like I just like want to be on the beach at all hours. Like I feel like I
No,
just
and
need
I
to
work
be in
from
the.
home, so it's like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I feel like I always need to be outside now, which
Totally.
is a good thing. But I'm definitely less productive at work.
Totally. I feel that. I
Definitely,
feel that.
everybody's-
I'll give them an
everybody's
honorable
super active
mention.
here, you know?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Okay.
That's another
All
thing
right,
too.
that's fair.
I'm not a very active bitch. I won't lie. But I know that I know that San Diego also has amazing food. That's something that is important to me. As I
Yeah,
said.
it's been an adjustment. The fish is amazing out here, but I miss like some of the Chicago food.
Yeah, that makes sense. What's your favorite food in Chicago? Maybe next time I'll go. I'll try to change my mind.
There's a restaurant called Rosemary. They do like everything really well. But if
Okay.
you want like a really good burger, Au Cheval obviously is really good.
We have all those
Or the
places in New
Loyalist.
York. We have Rosemary's and Au Cheval in New York.
It's a different Rosemary.
Oh, okay.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
It's different.
But Au Cheval, I mean, that's everywhere.
The chef is Joe Flem. He was like the top chef or whatever.
I think he's the same
He's a
guy
good
in New
guy.
York, the same thing. Or that's who you're talking about, Rosemary.
I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
I'll have to do some research. But I will give it a chance. I will try. I promise. Although
Okay.
right now
All
it's
right.
bottom of my list, baby. Bottom of my list.
All right, all right. Love you, Kelly.
All right, love you too. See you later. All right, now we have, I'm never gonna like Chicago. Now we have John defending Boston. Let's go. John, what's going on? I didn't go too hard on Boston, but I would like to hear your defense for sure.
Kelly, I have a question. Do you
Okay.
just not appreciate character? Or
No,
just
bitch, I live in New
uniqueness?
York. Do I not appreciate character? I walk on the
All
street.
New
It's
York is
character
cement
all
buildings
over the
that go up
floor.
20 floors and they all look the same.
No, what do you mean they all look the same? What all looks the same?
There's no cobblestone streets in New York that look pretty or old buildings that actually have character that date back to the 1700s. What are we talking about
John,
here?
I might have to hang up the fucking phone on you. What do you mean there's no character? This man says there's no character in New York City as compared to Boston? You're comparing character of
Here's the
New
thing
York
about
City
New York,
to
is that They try
Boston?
and have character. No. They try and have character in New
You're
York.
outta
They're
here.
trying too hard.
They're
Boston,
trying to have-
everyone knows.
John,
They
my
say
head's
this,
gonna
they
explode.
live
You
in
can't
the
see
aura.
this
They
right now,
don't
but
try
my
to
head
create
is
the
exploding.
aura.
You can't see my head right now, but it's exploding all over the floor. I can't believe
Well-
you're trying to tell me that Boston has more character than New York fucking City.
Absolutely, it does.
You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. Give me one example.
Also,
Give me
have
one
you
example.
not eaten on the North End in Boston? The North End of Boston. You say there's no
The
good
North
food.
End of
It's
Boston.
literally known for its food.
What's something I gotta find in the North End of Boston?
There's famous pastry shops where there's 2-hour lines to get desserts after dinner.
Oh my God, have you ever heard of the fucking cronut? There was a 7-hour line for the cronut in New York City 6 years
Guess
ago.
what? Anything
We
in
don't
the
give
North
a
End is
fuck.
better than a cronut.
No, I don't believe it. Although I do love a good pastry. I won't lie. 2 hours, really? What kind of pastries do they make?
I mean, I got the Boston cream donut pastry because that's the way to go.
Well, of course, gotta have the Boston cream donut, obviously. All right, so next time I'm in the North End of Boston, I'll be on the lookout for a Boston cream donut. How's
or
that
the
sound?
South End, you're by the water. You go to a couple breweries that are right on the water.
I'm not a beer girl. You know what? I think that's a problem
The
too.
Boston Tea Party, because America.
I do like that. I told you I was talking about DC earlier. I love the history about that. I do love a history lesson. I did a project in the 3rd grade about the Boston Tea Party. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I'll go find, like I said, I'll go find this fucking pastry
Also,
place,
I mean,
and I'll change my mind.
This is me. I mean, sports fan. Fenway Park is the greatest place on earth.
Right. Well, that's according to you. I'm all set with Yankee Stadium.
Yankee Stadium is a museum built of cobblestone that has no character either. You go in there, it's like a tomb.
I don't care that much about Yankee Stadium. I was just trying to get your goat.
Well, you did. Good job.
Good. All right. Thanks for calling, John. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye. Love a good argument. I'm going to kill John in his sleep. We have to hit a break, and then we'll come back. I got to calm down in the break. And welcome back to On the Other Line. I'm your host, Kelly Keegs. We're talking about cities. I just screamed bloody murder at this guy for calling in about trying to defend Boston. And I just found out it was Stanko, one of our longtime producers on this show who comes on and is always helping us, coming through arguing with me. I don't even know if he's in this building. I might have to go kill him. I don't even know what's going on. I'm crying laughing. I was getting blown up with text during that and I didn't know why. And now I know why and I'm dying. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to get into a physical fight when I get out of here because I can't believe that man is going to look me in the face in an hour or whatever and tell me that New York City has no character. Oh my fucking God. There's just no way. I can't fucking believe. And no, I didn't calm down at the break. I always am like, oh, I'll calm down by the end of the break. 2 minutes is not enough time for me to calm down. I'm still all the way wound up. So we're just going to keep that energy for the rest of the show. Unfortunately, the next city that I hate on my list is going to catch some, no. It's going to catch deserved heat because I fucking hate it. I really do, truly to the depths of my soul. But I don't hate it like I do. I don't hate it as much as I am high up right now. So the next city is Hoboken, New Jersey. I fucking hate Hoboken. And I'm so sick of everybody trying to make Hoboken happen. It's not going to happen. It's just not, it's not cool. Hoboken is not cool. It's cool, actually no. I'll lay it out like this. Hoboken is cool if you are between the ages of 21 and 23. That is the only time Hoboken is cool, even uptown Hoboken. I have two of my very best friends live in Hoboken right now, present day, my exact age, 31. And I say that they're losers for living in Hoboken all the time. I don't care what's going on. And I know that a lot of people move to Hoboken because they like work in the city, blah, blah, blah. The city's too expensive. They want to move to Hoboken. Literally move anywhere else. Move to Brooklyn, move to Weehawken, move to Jersey City. There are so many other places that are better than Hoboken whose main bragging point at this point in time is that they have the most bars per square mile. Fuck off. Like, the bars are trash. They're garbage. They are college bars. If you want to feel like you are still in college, you go to Hoboken and you go out in Hoboken. That's it. And I refuse to be there. I was there recently again because we had our Barcelona vs. America rap party there where I got to, watch a room full of people like watch me cry on 12 TVs at one time. Like that just obviously ruined the experience for me. We went to, where did we go after? The place that everybody likes. I can't think of what it's called right now. Oof, man, I can't think. I should know. But it was a fun time because it was karaoke only. Like we were doing karaoke. That's why I liked it. If you drop me in any city, a city that I hate the most, inside of a bar that I hate the most, and you give me a microphone and let me do karaoke, I'll love it. I'll have a great time. So I'm not worried about that. I fucking love karaoke. Only reason I had a good time in Hoboken. I spent a lot of time there in my early 20s, and it just like, it's another place where everybody that's there tries to vouch for it constantly. It's similar to Chicago. Everyone's like, Hoboken's the best. It's a quick ride on the path. It's like so easy to get everywhere. Like blah, blah, blah. You can go right into the city or you can chill in Hoboken. If you move to Hoboken, you never go into Manhattan. That's just it. It's way easier to go to a bar around the corner or a bar up the street than it is to go in Manhattan. So anybody that's pretending like they're moving to Hoboken so they can spend time in Manhattan is a fucking liar. And I'm just sick of everybody acting like that's what it's for. You moved to Hoboken because you wanted to move to Hoboken. You moved there because you didn't want to be in Manhattan or you couldn't be in Manhattan, which is not a fault of your own. But if you're one of those people that like can't be living in Manhattan, then make sure you go there all the time. Don't waste this giant, beautiful city that's right fucking here and spend time at I don't even know, at Texas, Arizona. Like, I know that place is gone now. It's like a whole new bar. But that's the kind of shit that I'm talking about. You're going to go to some trash bar, whatever. It's garbage. And I just don't care what anybody says about Hoboken either. Like, move the fuck out. Get out of there. Get out. Get somewhere else. I swear to God, there are better places to live that are close to the city. Even Jersey City, literally right next to it. Jersey City is very much up and coming right now. They have incredible restaurants, really, really like culturally rich in art and food and everything. It's right there, right next door. Why are you in Hoboken? Why? Why? Because you want to live right next to the New Jersey Transit giant fucking train stop? You're 21 years old? Okay, fine, do it. But otherwise, get the fuck out of there. Get out of Hoboken. I can't stand it. Although, I will say there are 3 places in Hoboken that I love food-wise. I just found out this morning that one of them is no longer. It was called like Teak or something. It had amazing Asian fusion sushi, whatever. I fucking loved it. There's also this place like Los Churritos. I forget the exact name. Downtown Hoboken, Mexican place, fucking amazing. Really, really good food. And they let you bring your own wine to make your own sangria. I like that too. That was cool. And then there's one other place called the Cuban that's like uptown a little bit. I think it's like, it's not all the way uptown, but it's like halfway up. And they have a really good crab guacamole with plantain chips. And that's fucking great. I've never seen that anywhere else. So props to those 2 places that are still existing. Otherwise, trash, garbage. Even the liquor store. The liquor store in Hoboken is shit. They don't even have good, like all the good wines. It's huge and it's just full of trash wine that's like below $15. And it's like, that's fine. But what if I want to splurge on a $25 bottle of wine? I can't because it's all garbage. So fuck Hoboken. I'm over it. Next on my list is Beijing, China. This one is a little left field. This is very personal to me and my experience. I love to work in all the time that I've been to Tokyo. It's the only place that I've traveled internationally apart from like Bermuda. And it was the time of my life. Tokyo, like, should have been on my best cities list, but I just thought people would make fun of me if I put it up there because it's like, oh, you went to one place and so, or you went there once and so now it's like the best city ever. It is, but on the way there, we had a layover in Beijing, China. It was a 16-hour layover, so we got to go into the city and like stay in the city, whatever. I was with my friend. We went to go get dumplings. First of all, we were swindled immediately with like cabs and stuff. They like were taking advantage of us. Obviously, we're American, whatever. But we weren't coming in like stupid Americans. Like we knew that what we needed to do. We knew the right apps to download. We had the translator app ready. We had the WeChat going on. Like we had all the shit for China. Like we were ready for China. And they just hosed us, pretended not to speak English to us a lot of the time when they very clearly did. They were like speaking English to somebody right before us, and then they'd like pretend that they didn't speak English to us. And they took us to a dumpling place. This like guy at our hotel, like a concierge. We were like, we really want good dumplings. That's all we have time for. He brought us to essentially a strip mall, and it was maybe the worst dumplings I've ever had in my life. Like, I've had better dumplings in fucking Boston, honestly. I said before I got sushi there and it was terrible. The dumplings in Boston were the only redeemable part of that meal. They were better than the dumplings I had in Beijing, China. Like, it was just like, it was like the, whatever it's called, like the dumpling part and then like a dry shrimp on the inside. Like it was so fucking gross. And also the people there were just like really dirty. Like everybody was burping out loud and everybody said that was like a customary thing. And I was like, I don't know if that's customary or if that's just like fucking rude. I'm not really sure what this is all about. I just had like a really horrible time there and we got swindled out of like $100 going back and forth 2 feet up the road just to go to our hotel. So it was not a good experience. And then I later asked everybody, I was like, oh, did we just have a bad experience? Is Beijing actually nice? Like, should I write it off so quick? And everyone was like, nope, Beijing's horrible. Shanghai is the place you gotta go. And Hong Kong also apparently is really great. So I haven't been to either of those cities, but I hear wonderful things. All I hear are terrible things about Beijing, and I will never be returning. Never. We have time quickly. My number one worst city, and then we're gonna get into some DMs and a voicemail. Number one worst city on my list and in my life is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Holy fuck, do I hate Philly. I can't stand it there. Another situation where a good friend of mine lived there for a long time. I visited her a bunch, and sure, we had fun when we went out. We went to a couple of good bars, blah, blah, blah. Did I get too drunk and embarrass myself at a few of these places? And maybe is that why I hate Philadelphia? Probably. But on the whole, it's terrible. It's another place that everybody's like, well, it's just as good as New York, or like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Like, people try really hard, not as hard as Chicago and Hoboken, but people try really hard to make Philly happen. Again, it's not gonna happen. It's kind of garbage. It's just, the skyline's ugly. I don't even know what the main building is in Philly with like this, it's got like slots on it. I don't know what it's called. I feel like I should probably have maybe Googled that before I came on the show, but it's just not cute. Nothing about it is cute. I've done all the historical stuff there, like the Liberty Bell was a fucking snooze. Like everything about it just is boring, and the food was not that good. And I will say I went there for the Super Bowl this year, and we went to a hookah lounge, and that was fun. I had a good time at the hookah lounge. But apart from that, trash, garbage. I never want to be there. I never want to go there unless I have to. I'd rather, again, just stay in New York. If you're so close to New York, just go to New York. Why are you in Philly? It's ridiculous. Let's hit a break real quick. We'll come back, answer DMs, and read a voicemail. And welcome back to On the Other Line. I'm your host, Kelly Keegs. We are talking about cities today. And I think I finally calmed down. After talking all that shit. I always get myself riled up with these people, but sometimes you gotta, for the sake of your city, the sake of your life, you just gotta get riled up about some shit. So let's get into our last segment, the last call. And let's do, yes, woohoo! Again, the first graphic I remember this whole time. I always fucking forget. And all right, so let's start out with the voicemail first. We had a voicemail calling in about Salt Lake City.
Hey, Kelly Keegs. So I wanted to call in to talk about Salt Lake City. So first, Zac Efron being at the High School Musical high school. I live like 2 blocks away, and I literally thought about running there when he posted that picture, but he was probably already gone. And also the fact that a High School Musical reunion is like being rumored right now. I think that's pretty false, because I think Zac Efron was in Salt Lake City for this brand deal with Kodiak Cakes, which is located here. So big bummer, but pretty cool. And then Salt Lake City being the best / worst city ever. First of all, live next to the mountains, pretty cool, 20 minutes away. Worst of all, the Mormons like run the government. And if you want to go to a restaurant and you order an alcoholic drink, you have to order food with it. So you can buy your first beer, and then when you want your second beer, they make you order food with it. It's just so stupid, but we get around it by going to bars, and then you can drink as much as you want, and they don't stop you. But yeah, Salt Lake City being the best and worst, and sorry to crush the High School Musical reunion dreams, but hopefully one day. See ya.
This is an interesting thing. I never think about places in the southwest of the United States. Like, I just never, like Utah, what, who? Like, I don't know. Like, I know nothing about Utah. All I know is that they're full of Mormons, and literally she just said that, like, Mormons low-key ruined Salt Lake City. Like, I didn't realize that they're, they control a bit of, like, the alcohol consumption, but I guess it does make sense. Like, if it's if they are the biggest part of the population, I guess why wouldn't the rules of the city adhere to what they want? But at the same time, I'm like, Mormons are, it's just like a borderline cult. Like, I feel like there is no argument for Mormons that makes me think it's not a cult. Like, I just am wondering, like, in 20 years, are we gonna look back and be like, I can't believe we all just like laughed about the Mormons. Like, it's just bizarre shit that they're doing down there. The soaking stuff, like, where, they can't have sex, so they like put the penis in and just sit there, and sometimes they have friends shake the bed so they can feel it. It's fucking crazy. Just fuck, like, just have sex. What's the big deal? Anyway, kind of to what she was saying though about Zac Efron, there were photos. Zac Efron posted a photo of himself outside of East High. I think that's East. I forget the whole name of the high school, but it was the high school that they used to shoot High School Musical. There are rumors that there's going to be a reunion. Zac Efron posted in front of it. So did Vanessa Hudgens. Chicks in the Office just had Corbin Bleu on the other day, and he was like, oh, I don't know. Like, there is the 20-year anniversary coming up, which is outrageous. But I have a feeling for the 20-year anniversary of High School Musical, we will see the gang back together in Salt Lake City. So, you know, prepare the Mormons now, because clearly they're not going to be able to handle all that sexual energy. All right, let's get into the DMs. Let's just flip through. These are just people's opinions on the best and worst cities. Not that popular, but Worcester, right? Worcester, Mass is a top tier city, so is Boston. We already know and have established that Boston is trash. I didn't even have that many strong opinions on Boston before, but now I do, because Nyko said that it had more character than New York City. So now I have like Boston's my mortal enemy. But Worcester, I mean, yeah, that's probably fine. It's probably nice. It sounds maybe like it's a little more of a suburb. Maybe it's like a Hoboken equivalent, which, you know, I kind of hate. But I don't mind neighboring towns to like a big city, so whatever. Let's go next. Worst city, any city with no late night food options. Yes, I should have said this when I said to New York. Like, I can literally, and I've been doing this, at midnight, I can order myself like a gourmet fucking dessert if I want to. I've been getting this like matcha chocolate lava cake from I don't even know where. It's like Spotted, the dessert spot or something. I don't know. I'll tweet about it because it's actually fucking fire, and I can get it whenever the fuck I want. Like, it's just, I love having that option of not being confined to like everything's closed at a certain time and now we can't do anything. So I live in the city that never sleeps for that exact fucking reason. Let's go. Panama City is disgusting. Facts, absolute facts. If you have been to Panama City either on spring break or on vacation, if you've been there on vacation, then you're poor, and like that's tough. Like you gotta figure out a way out of the situation that you're in, that you're going to Panama City for fun, like with your family. But if you go for spring break, it's the ultimate place to just like act like an actual disgusting piece of garbage, and you can get away with it because the whole place is a complete garbage heap. Facts. Gross. Put-in Bay, Ohio. I don't know anything about this place. Do any of you guys in the booth know anything about this place? Like, I don't even know. I know nothing about Ohio, I'll be honest. Like, I feel like it's just not my vibe. But do you guys know? Do you know it?
It is so awful there. It's literally
Really?
so bad. It's right by my house.
Who's this fucking liar here?
Wait, are they saying it's a good city?
Yes.
No, it's an island literally made of trash in the middle of Lake Erie off of Cleveland. And it's like literally like it's like the capital of white trash.
Really? Maybe they are saying it's bad. Maybe I'm misinterpreting what they said. I think my thing said best/worst, so they might be putting it in as worst. But that's what it is. It's an island of trash.
It's literally an island of like the white trash of like of the Midwest congregates to Put-in Bay. It's where like KB and Nick went to Rediscovering America.
Oh my
And they
God.
had like a twerking contest and like a
I
wet
did see
t-shirt
that.
contest.
I saw that. Damn.
It is so gross there, and everyone goes there and thinks they're having such a great time drinking Mike's Hard Lemonades in their back fucking yards. It's disgusting.
They're
there.
liars. They're all a bunch of fucking liars. Well, let's put that on the worst list. Throw it on the worst list.
It's
I never
the
want to
worst.
go there. I never want to go there. Okay, good. Let's never go. Let's never go to Put-in Bay, Ohio. Okay, let's see if we have a time to clip. Here we go. Best, Charlotte, no. Cleveland, maybe. New Orleans, Denver, Detroit. Detroit, are we sure? Seattle, Miami, Minnesota. Miami, I was just in Miami last weekend. Miami is fun for like 48 hours. I was there for 72 and it was a little too much. Like, it's one of those. Seattle, I have not been to, I'm dying to go to. Cleveland, I'm like whatever about. New Orleans, I would like to go to, but I know for a fact it's trash. Denver, I would love to go to. Worst, SF, I mean, the city itself is not great, I won't lie. The city itself is not great, but the surrounding areas, everywhere around it is fantastic. I would move to Northern California if I could, if not for the time difference. I hate the time difference situation. Okay, let's go next. The best, Atlanta. Worst is Atlantic City. Atlanta is the best city. I haven't heard that. I know there's a few in here that say that it's the worst, so I don't really know about that. But the worst being Atlantic City, that's facts. It's maybe one, if not the only free beach on the Jersey Shore. A lot of places I have come to realize as an adult traveling other places, you don't have to pay to get on the beach. But in New Jersey, all along the shore, you do. It's because, I don't know, it's taxpayer money. They clean up the beach for us. I don't fucking know. It's like $10. But Atlantic City is a free beach. And so everybody just goes and like dumps their trash there and is disgusting and comes out of the casinos like half in the bag and just pukes on the beach. So yes, it's a terrible city. Best, Nashville, Boston, Salt Lake City. Worst, Orlando and Las Vegas. I've been to Vegas. I agree, not great, kind of gross. But I feel like you're not going there for like a good city. You're going there to like gamble and see strippers and like, you know, do blow. But Orlando, I don't mind Orlando because I'm a Disney bitch. You know, on the low, I'm a Disney bitch. Best, Nashville. I did like spending time in Nashville. I couldn't live there. And then Boston and Salt Lake City, we've already covered. Like, whatever, man. Paris is a motherfucking dump. I've heard this like nonstop. I've heard this. I've never been to Paris. It's one of those places that I've always wanted to go. I've kind of soured on in the last few years though, because everybody says it's like actually so disgusting, which is sad as fuck. I feel like everybody always talks about Paris as the most romantic city in the world. Like you gotta go, the food, the culture, this, that, whatever, Versailles. I'm trying to go to all those places, but I don't love that it's a giant fucking dump. Like that sucks. That's bad news for me. So I'll have to go and report back. Dallas, people here suck and act like it's the best place in the world. It's awful. Texas in general sucks dick. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly about Texas. Like I was never a huge fan. I've been to a couple places in Texas. I've been to Houston. I've been to, have I been to Dallas? I've been to Dallas, Houston, and Austin. And Austin was fun because we went on Lake Travis and, you know, that was debauchery. But apart from that, it's really hot. People are backwards. I don't know. I'm not into it. Let's do one more and then get the hell out of here. Newport, Rhode Island is overrated. It's tiny and there's nothing to do besides walking the ocean path. Yeah, that's the best part about Newport, Rhode Island. I love Newport. Seeing all the mansions, it's so much fun. Also, Taylor Swift has a fucking house there. She was in Newport, Rhode Island very recently. If I only had taken a trip up there, maybe I could have run into her finally once and for all. It's fucked up. I love Newport. This person clearly doesn't. Whatever. Okay. Let's end the show there. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for arguing with me. Thank you for submitting all your DMs, and I will see you next week.